Olá, bem-vindos a mais uma apresentação do nosso evento. O próximo tópico de hoje o próximo tema de hoje é o mundo da automação de processos, e para isso nós convidamos aqui a participação do Sr. Dirk Schmidt-Regge. O Sr. Dirk Schmidt-Regge é o vice-presidente de vendas da Siemens no mundo. Ele é responsável mundialmente pelos sistemas DCS em toda a Siemens, né, da divisão de automação e engenharia. Estamos convidando para ele apresentar diretamente da Siemens, diretamente da Alemanha. E Dirk, muito obrigado pela sua participação. Seja bem-vindo ao nosso evento. Obrigado.
Tá. Obrigado, André. Bom dia, senhoras e senhores. Meu nome é Dirk Schmidt-Regge. Sim, eu sou responsável dentro da área de Process Automation dentro da Siemens mundialmente pelas vendas de automação de processo. Trabalhei lá no Brasil de 2010 até 2012. Por causa disso, eu posso falar um pouquinho de português, mas, na verdade, tenho mais segurança para esse tópico de falar em inglês. So let me give you an introduction to the world of process automation a little bit. And don't worry, I will not bother you with product features and our organization. I'm somehow more focused on our projects, on our opportunities, on our references, because that's the best way how to give you the impression of our portfolio elements and how to inspire you using such kind of products as well. Don't worry about this little animal here on the top right-hand side. It is part of our Rethink campaign. As we think with entering the new world of digitalization, we need to rethink, we need to refocus, we need to re-inspire ourselves using our solutions and how to go ahead. As I told you, I don't want to bother you too much with our portfolio elements, but somehow we need to understand that when we are talking about digitalization, we need to base our digitalization on a very stable, high-performing product portfolio. So let me introduce you roughly to some of them. First of all, we have our analytical products and solutions like gas chromatography or gas analytics. And we also do the system integration of those systems here. The business field of automation and engineering, we are talking here about DCS systems. And yes, it's not just one DCS system anymore. It's not just PCS7. It's also PCS Neo, which we recently launched worldwide with the version 3, a totally web-based new process control system. And you will get some more information during that event about this new process control system. Then we are talking about Comos, our plant engineering tool, and XHQ, the operation tool, because still our philosophy is from integrated engineering to integrated operation. And yes, also in automation and DCS systems, we are talking about not just software, we are also talking about hardware, like our controllers from the S7400 family, but also hardware from our I/O system, the ET200 SPHA. So this we are handling in the automation and engineering organization. Then we also have on board our instrumentation, because when we are talking about digitalization, we have to talk about how to make information out of data. And first of all, we need to get the data, and we need to get the data out of the field. Like, for example, flow measures or level, pressure, temperature. You can read all of this, and you can see the examples on this slide as well. When we are talking about digitalization, it is about communication. And here we are talking about industrial communication, like switches, all the different communication protocols, but also security products, which is very important when we are talking about digitalization. We can talk about as much as we want about being online, or talking about internet solution or web-based tools or so, if we don't have the security on board. And the right portfolio elements we will find in that organization of communication and identification. And last but not least, power supplies. You might say, hey, it's just a power supply in an electrical cabinet. On the other hand, did you ever think about when one of those equipment will fail, is not working properly, then a complete cabinet will not work properly, and maybe this will have an impact on the complete production facility or the complete plant, or maybe the entire enterprise. So we need to base our digitalization solutions on these product elements. And we are serving lots of markets, like the chemical industry, the petrochemical industry, pharma, all the process industries, glass and solar, water, wastewater, but also discrete industries are served with some of these portfolio elements. And we are not only serving the markets and addressing the markets with products, we also do the services, for example, hotline services, repair services, field services, maintenance services, very important. And of course, also the combination and the integration of each and every portfolio element to its complete solution. So solution integration is also part of our portfolio. At the end, we even do the consultancy, and we are optimizing our customers' plans. In order to conclude the introduction to the process automation organization within Siemens, and I just want to inspire you with our strategy. We want to be the technological leader in all our business fields. And yes, I already gave you a rough introduction to our products, and you will get even more information during that event. But we even expand our portfolio with additional services and portfolios, like our applications. We put all our vertical industrial know-how in certain software suites in our application suite, which may serve you also in very dedicated a challenge of your daily work, in your daily production of your plant. I give you a rough introduction later on during that presentation as well. And yes, when we are talking about digitalization, we also need to talk about digital lifecycle services. And I don't just talk about software maintenance services, but also the optimization of your plant being remotely connected. And all of our business fields, and we are very focused on making use of the digital twin, creating a digital twin and making use of that, simulating, creating, using the models out of our industrial know-how, out of our industrial expertise, creating the digital twin, modeling it, and simulate certain business areas which we then can handle in order to serve our customers and help our customers with our expertise as well. And I'm very proud that we get the introduction of Simatic PCS Neo, our web-based process control system, which opens up us the field of process technologies. And we are setting the pace with that. We are the top-notch provider of process control system with Simatic PCS Neo. And I think you will get a lot of inspiration during that event, and you will know how to make use of the advantages of PCS Neo as well. The communication and networks, and we are somehow getting the hype of the 5G networks and the solutions, and we have the right equipment in order to make use out of that. And above everything, it's not just providing the markets with services and products. We are also try to shape the future. We are driving the future. We are setting standards by participating in the different associations. For example, the NOAA association, the NAMO open architecture standards we are setting, and we are following strictly those definitions as well in our entire research and development of our products. Modular type packaging is one of these standards, of these protocols and standards which are set in a certain association in order to integrate the different package units to a complete system and by predefined interfaces. The Open Process Automation Forum, for example, and smart sensors, it's another topic where we are just by participating in certain associations are able to setting the standards and driving the future. So what as I told you, this was the chapter of the products. Now let's enter into the templates and the projects we realized in 2020. And I hope I can give you some inspiration out of this as well. Of course, you know that we are present in all over the world, and that we have engineering setups all over the world. And of course, in different regions, we are facing different challenges. We have regional specific challenges. We have different markets. We have different behaviors. We have different cultures, and we need to serve all of them. Somehow this year it was different because of the pandemic situation. We were somehow facing in all the different countries the same challenges. And you may wonder why I bring you firsthand this project here, why I'm presenting this one at Sinopec in China. I mean, China and Sinopec is a multi-industrial company. They are very present in the oil and gas market, in the petrochemical market. Actually, we did a refinery together with Sinopec in China as well, and different other also chemical plants. But because of the very high demand of face masks, of course, due to the pandemic situation, they wanted to produce or they want to build up 16 production lines, and of course pretty fast because the demand was rapid. I mean, we are talking about a pandemic situation, and we cannot hesitate in order to serve not just the market, but to protect our people. So by using our portfolio elements and at the end in the realization with thematic PLCs and our drive systems, we could realize the production lines. But these plans also have been planned with and engineered based on commerce, and we could reduce the time to market tremendously by making use out of our own tools. You may have heard about this Dulux example already, but I think this is a very good example to explain digitalization. I mean, we don't need digitalization just to be the front runner, just to be ahead of everybody. We have to serve our markets, and the market needs are changing right now. We need to increase the flexibility. I mean, if you want to paint your own house or your flat, you don't need 5,000 liters, but you still want to have make use of your own color, of your own blend of color. And but it was not possible to produce that industrially with the standards of Dulux because of the changing times, and the production was not that flexible to reduce the lots to 100 liters, for example. by using semantic PCS7 and in combination with process historian, COMOS, and semantic IT EBR, electronic batch recording, we could increase the production processes by 8 times. Plus, we could reduce even the downtimes. We increased the flexibility of Dulux, producing fewer lots with just 100 liters, very individual colors for the paint, and even reduce the downtimes, more stable production. I think that's digitalization at its best. Let's talk about the glass and solar industry, or let's say this glass manufacturer. Here we're facing the problem to have an increased demand of glass, of this container glass. And he had to increase his production facility. And we could achieve that, again, by using PCS7, but also by doing the engineering based on plant automation, process automation accelerator in combination with CIMIT. So we could do the engineering with our PAA tool and then simulate the outcome already, and then handing the optimized program over to PCS7. And this is also not just a fully integrated solution, and helps us to document that. And I mean, if we are talking about documentation, it's not just to serve certain entities and official organization. When we are talking about documentation, we are in the business case of standardization. We can create with PCS7, PAA, and CIMIT a certain standard which can be repeated also in other plants, based on the same data where we already made good experience with. And I mean, all the reference I'm talking about, it's not just that we as Siemens are doing it. I mean, we are serving the customer, we were consulting them, but in most of the cases, we are serving the customer via our partners, via our system integrators, and via OEMs. And we also get a good feedback. And yes, when we are talking about references, I mean, we receive customer feedback. And here's one statement also from that glass manufacturer, that he is very happy to use our software to make the good experience with our software and to set the standards for their production facilities. Another glass manufacturer, Horn. I mean, here is a different challenge. He wanted to produce or to build up a complete new plant. And the production process of glass involves a lot of OEMs, and not just one package unit, and different machines, of course, and different machine builders are involved. And we could serve the customer here using our plant-wide automation with coordination of the different OEMs as well, machine builders in the process industries. And the construction is still underway, but also here we got pretty good feedback from that manufacturer. Digitalization also means sometimes to change the process, to rethink. You remember our campaign in the beginning at the first page? And here Cathay, this industrial biotech company in China, really rethought their production. They are producing polymers. I mean, the ingredients for the chemical and for the pharmaceutical industries. And in the past, it has been artificially produced, I mean, synthetically produced. Here, they are producing polymers out of corn by using, so it's a complete new production process using corn for polymers. And we could serve this customer planning their process based on commerce. We simulated it with Simit, and we are producing on the basis of Thematic PCS7 and Thematic IT, and it's operated and optimized with XHQ. Again, from integrated engineering to integrated we could increase the production capacity for these polymers by far. And again, we achieved a faster time to market, and we have less production downtimes. We could secure the production over the entire life cycle. Actually, and this is brand new. And to be honest, I wanted to present you also the name of this pharma customer here. You may know who I'm talking about. I mean, the challenge we are facing in this year is COVID-19, how to handle the coronavirus. And of course, everybody could think about, hey, the pharmaceutical industry, they make a huge business in the future. But it's the first place they need to invest. They need to investigate finding the right vaccination for that virus. And you may heard in the news that some companies are already successful and they are planning to be on the market in quite some time. They're in the testing phase right now. And as this is not finally released from that customer, I cannot show you the name, but you may know who I'm talking about. So we are together with that customer. We are partnering. We are setting up a certain production line. We were investigating. We were analyzing also in the laboratories how to find the right vaccination. And now it's up to all of us. How can we produce the huge lots in order to serve the markets, and which may and hopefully this will help everybody to be safe in due time. Let's talk about water. And I mean, water is, from my personal point of view, one of the most important resources we have on this globe. And although we have a lot of water available on the earth, of course, but the most of it it's in the sea. So it's we need to desalinate the water in order to make use of this resource. And there's a very innovative company in Saudi Arabia, and this company wanted to have a desalination plant, and of course the need is there, the demand is there in Saudi Arabia. You can imagine in the middle of a desert, there's not so much water available. So why not making use out of the seawater? And unfortunately, the seawater desalination process is heavily involved with a lot of energy and so on. So, but with the solar power desalination plant, we could make use of two resources. The seawater plus the solar light from the sun, and we use the solar energy in order to make this plant running. Again, we planned this plan with Commerce. We realized it with PCS7, and again, a lot of OEMs are involved. Huge power stations are involved, because you can imagine it's not just about producing the water, but also distributing it in the complete country. A lot of pumping stations are involved as well. But very economic friendly, and with regeneration of the resources as well. And one of our stable customer in the water area, once more, Wasserwerke Westfalen. I mean, The production of water, especially of drinking water, is a very sensitive field, and everybody needs to protect the plants and the distribution of the water, because, as I said, it's a very valuable resource when we are talking about water. So together with PCS7, but also with HMI, with our IPCs, with the panels, with the switch gears from Siemens portfolio, we could serve this customer to eliminate vulnerabilities at their water works, so they are very much more secure in their production facility and distributing this valuable resource. So I hope I could inspire you with certain examples from other customers, from production facilities, how we can make use of digitalization, or sometimes only portfolio elements to serve certain demands in the different industries. And on top of that, I brought you this application suite. And we unfortunately do not have time to go through each and every application. But one topic is common for all of these applications. They make use, or they use the data to create information out of that. For example, this application here, it's called My Expert. It gives you the status of your automation system. It checks whether a new firmware is available and how you should upgrade to a new firmware, or where you can optimize your architecture and so on. And I think it's a very useful tool, and the data is available. But to inform you how to do that, that's a different story, and the app is helping you with that. And this is somehow the story of all these apps. You do have access to this application suite as well, and I'm pretty sure our colleagues in Brazil will help you and sending you this link as well, and you have access to all these applications. The last time I was here in that forum, I used this picture. And again, this is not a picture of my last vacation. It is, I was using this picture in order to demonstrate the challenge, the wave which is ahead of us. I was already picturizing the challenge of digitalization in front of us. I think it was in 2016. The last time we had this space event in Brazil. But I was already mentioned there, hey, if you look at the surfer, he's not afraid at all, because he is prepared, he is trained. Maybe he is just inspired. I mean, if you look carefully, you see he even has fun riding such a wave. And now I want to use this picture not just to talk about the challenge. I want that all of us will rethink the wave. I want to show and demonstrate the market that we are the wave. So, and that is rethinking, because we have all the answers available. We have digitalization in form of software, process automation systems, hardware, applications. We are able to create information out of data. Having that said, I wish you a very good event for the rest of the time. And it was my big pleasure participating once more. And I'll be with you and hope I see you soon. Stay healthy. Thank you very much. Muito obrigado, gente.